Did you know there's an animal that looks exactly like a floating piece of seaweed? Another has transparent skin that reveals its beating heart. And one even has a face that could be mistaken for human genitalia. Nature gets weird, really weird. And we're about to show you just how bizarre it can get. Hiding in remote corners of our planet are creatures so utterly bizarre that they seem like they were designed by a Hollywood special effects team. These aren't CGI creations or extinct prehistoric oddities, but actual living animals, defying everything we thought we knew about evolution. Welcome to Top 10 Facts Club, where we explore the strangest secrets of our planet. Hit that subscribe button because we're counting down from 10 to 1, so stick around. Because number 1 looks like it came straight out of a fever dream, and it might be lurking in your backyard right now. Animal number 10. The antelope that evolved a vacuum cleaner for a face. Imagine an antelope designed by a mad scientist. Bloated nose, haunted eyes, and a face like a deflated balloon. Meet the saiga, evolution's weirdest survivor. Roaming the brutal steppes of Central Asia, where dust storms peel paint off trucks, this critically endangered oddball breathes through a fleshy, trunk-like nose that looks ridiculous, but hides a genius design. It filters dust, traps pathogens, and warms freezing air to 70 degrees Fahrenheit before it hits the lungs. It's not a nose, it's life support. But in 2015, disaster struck. A mysterious bacteria turned 200,000 saigas into corpses almost overnight, mid-migration. Scientists later linked it to climate change. The die-off was so eerie, locals believed the land itself was cursed. Then there's the horn trade. Males grow striking, lyre-shaped horns used in traditional Chinese medicine, so valuable that poachers wiped out 95% of the population. Yet somehow, saigas bounced back. From 39,000 to 1.9 million. A comeback so unreal, it's like watching extinction in reverse. And despite their tragic backstory and cartoonish faces, these creatures hit 50 miles per hour in a sprint. Evolution's final punchline? Look absurd. Survive anything. Animal number 9. The primate that starves its own babies to death. Meet the tarsier, a furry ping-pong ball with eyeballs each heavier than its brain. Native to Southeast Asia's jungles, this nocturnal gremlin peers through the dark, with pupils so dilated its eyes resemble obsidian marbles. But those peepers come with a catch. They're fused to its skull, forcing it to rotate its head 180 degrees like a possessed owl to track prey. And prey? We're not talking bugs. Tarsiers are the only fully carnivorous primates, ambushing snakes twice their size and decapitating birds with surgical precision. They hunt using ultrasonic clicks, a skill stolen from bats, and leap 40 times their body length, landing with the grace of a falling guillotine. But the real horror show begins at birth. Newborn tarsiers climb trees within hours, dragging their placenta behind like a macabre umbilical parachute. Males, however, aren't paternal. They practice infanticide, slaughtering any offspring they didn't sire. Locals in the Philippines swear their wide-eyed stare can see ghosts, which explains why poachers avoid them during full moons. Too bad science can't explain why their eyeballs don't explode from the pressure. Animal number 8. The frog that turns its blood into invisible ink. Glass frogs are nature's X-ray machines. By day, they nap belly up on Central American leaves, flaunting beating hearts and digesting meals through skin clearer than a smartphone screen. But their real party trick? Making 90% of their blood vanish. When predators approach,
these amphibians shunt crimson cells into mirror-coated livers, turning translucent faster than a vampire dodging sunrise. Scientists initially thought their organs just dissolved. Nope, the frogs cram blood cells into a space 20x denser than human veins without clotting. A biological middle finger to hematology textbooks. Their reproduction is equally deranged. Males guard jelly-like eggs that hatch into tadpoles, which free-fall into streams below. Survival rate higher than your last relationship.
Oh, and in the 1980s, a biologist studying them developed a fungal infection that turned his skin semi-transparent. Coincidence? Glass frogs say evolve or die. Animal number 7, the sea dragon, that's 50% plant, 100% predator. Australia's leafy sea dragon is what happens when evolution gets high on kelp. Every inch of its body sprouts fern-like appendages that flutter like underwater party streamers, camouflaging it as a floating seaweed clump. But this marine drag queen has a secret. Those leaves are useless for swimming. To move, it flaps fins thinner than saran wrap 70 times a minute, drifting like a wind-blown grocery bag. Males, though, are the real heroes. They incubate 250 eggs on a brood patch under their tails for 6 weeks, transforming into walking Christmas trees with egg ornaments. Don't let the glamour fool you. Their snout is a hydraulic shrimp vacuum, generating shock waves that stun prey. Poachers once sold dried sea dragons as luck charms until Australia banned it. Too bad traditional medicine still claims they cure baldness. Joke's on them. Sea dragons are near threatened, and their only predator is human stupidity. Animal number 6, the monkey with a nose so big it sinks when it swims. Meet the proboscis monkey, a pot-bellied primate with a nose so huge it looks like it lost a bar fight with a vacuum cleaner. Found in Borneo's swamps, this jungle oddity uses its fleshy, dangling schnoz to blast foghorn-like calls through the trees, nature's weirdest mating call. But here's the dark twist. Those giant noses, they fill with water when diving, meaning the bigger the nose, the faster they drown. Evolution gave them a megaphone and an anchor. They're escape artists too. With webbed feet and stomachs bloated from fermenting toxic leaves, they plunge 20 feet into rivers and hold their breath like aquatic ninjas. Their gut is a biological brewery, neutralizing poisons that would wreck a human. And when it comes to love, size matters. Females pick mates based on nose length. Small-nosed males, they die alone. As if that's not wild enough, babies are born with neon blue faces that fade to corpse gray, like nature hit undo. The real tragedy? Poachers hunt them for bezoar stones while palm oil destroys their home. Their nose, their pride, is now a target. Evolution's warning: flashy features may win mates, but they also make you easier to kill. Animal number 5, the armored anteater that shoots acid from its armpits. Meet the pangolin, a walking pine cone with samurai armor, a fire hose tongue, and a defense system straight out of a horror movie. Native to the savannas of Africa and the jungles of Asia, this bizarre mammal slurps ants like spaghetti, using a sticky tongue longer than your forearm. Here's the kicker: its tongue isn't connected to its throat. It's anchored near the hips and retracts into its chest, like something from an alien autopsy. Under threat, it curls into a ball so tough lions break teeth trying to bite through. And if that fails, it farts acid. Yep, a noxious burning spray that smells like rancid garlic and once hospitalized a poacher for weeks. Its scales, made of hair-hard keratin, are coated with exosomes that trap pathogens like a biohazard suit. And yet, this biological marvel is being hunted to extinction. Its scales boiled into healing soup with the medicinal value of a toenail. And the final twist? Pangolins can pause pregnancies. One rescued female delayed birth for 11 months just to wait for an ant boom. Evolution built the pangolin like a joke until you realize it's surviving a war it never asked for. Animal number 4, the moth that's 50% poodle, 100% cryptid. Deep in Venezuela's mist-drenched mountains, A creature emerged so bizarre, it looked like a Muppet built by a mad scientist. Meet the Venezuelan poodle moth, a bug so fluffy it broke the internet, then vanished. Discovered in 2009, this cloud-white moth had curly wings, ultra-thick fur, and cartoonish eyes. The photo went viral, but here's the catch. No one's ever found another. No specimens, no confirmed sightings, just one image and a whole lot of conspiracy theories. Was it an alien, a government drone, a biological hoax? But the science? Even stranger. Its curls are sound-absorbing scales that jam bat sonar. Its fur is actually armor, spiky chitin fibers that slash anything that touches it. And those adorable eyes, UV vision powerhouses that turn pitch-black nights into a glowing runway. Now for the nightmare fuel. Its cousins are host to zombie wasps, parasites that lay eggs inside their bodies, turning them into living husks before exploding into larval chaos. Is the poodle moth real, or was it nature's greatest sleight of hand? One blurry photo, 0 answers, and a whole internet still obsessed. Animal number 3, the crab that farms bacteria on its hairy arms.
Imagine a crustacean that looks like a cross between a B-movie monster and a shaggy rug. Meet the Yeti crab, a deep-sea freak that looks like a shaggy rug crossed with a horror movie reject. Living on the edge of underwater volcanoes, this crab thrives in pitch-black abyssal zones where 700 degrees Fahrenheit vents spew toxic gas and molten chemicals. Its claws, covered in hair-like bristles called setae. Not for style, but for farming bacteria. These crabs wave their fuzzy arms like underwater ravers, fertilizing microbial slime they actually eat.
It's the weirdest gardening ritual on Earth. But survival here is a brutal balancing act. Stray too far from the vent, and the Antarctic cold freezes their blood. Get too close, they cook alive. Entire colonies, nicknamed crab carpets, fight for real estate in the perfect thermal strip between death by fire or ice. And yes, scientists genuinely named one species the Hoff crab because its chest hair looks like David Hasselhoff's. The most heartbreaking twist? Females must crawl into icy water to lay eggs because vent heat would boil their young. Most die in the cold, sacrificing themselves so their babies might live. Alien-style horror, deep-sea rave, tragic heroism. The Yeti crab is evolution at its strangest and most savage. Animal number 2, the fish with a transparent head and rotating eyeballs. Meet the barrel eye fish, a deep-sea alien with a transparent skull and eyes that rotate inside its head. Found 2,500 feet beneath the Pacific, this glass-headed marvel looks like a submarine piloted by glowing green aliens. Its dome-like forehead, not decoration. It's filled with fluid and protects its rotating, tube-shaped eyes, literal biological telescopes that stare upward for prey. Until it's go time. Then, the eyes pivot forward, locking onto targets with sniper-like precision. These freakish fish specialize in stealing from jellyfish and siphonophores, deep-sea booby traps that dangle glowing tentacles like death chandeliers. In 2021, scientists captured rare footage of a barrel eye pulling off a precision food heist without getting stung. The real twist? Its digestive system runs vertically. If a snack is too wide, it can't even swallow. Everything must fit through a mouth barely thicker than a pencil. Nature's final flex? That clear dome over its eyes acts like a biohelmet, shielding it from toxins while it raids deep-sea jellies with surgical calm. It's not just weird, it's a predator wrapped in glass, optimized for the shadows. Animal number 1, the primate with a skeleton finger that predicts death. The eye isn't just a lemur, it's a living jump scare. With bat ears, rat teeth, and a skeletal middle finger longer than its entire arm, this nocturnal weirdo stalks Madagascar's trees like a tiny grim reaper. It taps branches 8 times per second, using echolocation to find grubs hidden inside. Then, it gnaws through wood with rodent-like teeth and uses that creepy finger like a straw to slurp bugs out. Evolution's idea of a horror tool set. But in Madagascar's folklore, the eye is pure evil. Locals believe it curses crops, and worse, marks people for death just by pointing at them, so villagers often kill them on sight. In 1990, a biologist even dared one to curse him live on TV. He's still alive, but the myth lives on. And the weird gets darker. Females ovulate just once a year, for 24 hours. Males will fight to the death for a shot at mating. Newborns cling to their mothers as she leaps through trees, one wrong move away from becoming primate pancakes. With 90% of its rainforest habitat destroyed, the eye's survival now depends on bribes to farmers and luck, lots of it. Nature doesn't just think outside the box. It sets the box on fire and builds a disco inside the ashes. From bacteria farming crabs to primates that double as grim reapers, Earth's weirdos remind us that reality is stranger than any sci-fi. These creatures aren't mutations or mistakes. They're masterpieces of survival, forged in the crucible of evolution. So, which of these freaks of nature shocked you the most? The see-through fish? The curse-wielding lemur? Drop your answer in the comments, smash that like button, and subscribe for more deep dives into the planet's wildest secrets.